This is Dwayne from Dwayne On Air Hoops. Welcome to our inaugural episode. I understand it's a little bit lo-fi, but I just wanted to kind of hop in and see if I can make any contributions that'd be exciting for the YouTube community. So yeah, if you like what you hear, like and subscribe. More than happy to continue making videos about this. But yeah, today's first episode is going to be focused on 5 exciting teams for this year. Obviously, you'll obviously hear about the most popular teams like the Lakers, my team, and so on, the Knicks, and so on. But I always wanted to kind of consider other teams that are important to the league as well, and some that are a bit of a surprise, whether it's good or bad. So I will want to discuss a few of the teams, such as the San Antonio Spurs, the Orlando Magic, the Houston Rockets, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Golden State Warriors. So let's get started with kind of the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs, obviously a smaller market team that kind of have resided in Wemby, have kind of become Wemby's team, and Wemby has been one of the more exciting prospects in the last few years. Has constantly developed his skill set, become a better shooter, has strong handles, and yet his frame continues to grow. He has a lot of resilience, has shown a lot of discipline as a person, and yep, I think the sky's the limit really for Wemby as a person. In terms of his kind of scoring ability, and yeah, I really think that's the Spurs have a promising future. Same thing, I would say with De'Aaron Fox. He is a promising player, obviously a very clutch player for the Sacramento Kings in his tenure there. So it's exciting to see what a full year of De'Aaron Fox and Wemby would look like. In addition to obviously all the growing pieces within the team itself. On the other hand, there are a few concerns. One being obviously rookie coach Mitch Johnson, who obviously learned a little bit from Pop, but definitely still is going to have a little bit of growing pains with the team. Additionally, I guess another concern would be the guards situation right now with Stephen Castle, Dylan Harper, and De'Aaron Fox. Which way are they going to go? De'Aaron Fox has had his struggles. Stephen Castle has shown his kind of glimmers of a promise. So it's really interesting to see where this team will go. Definitely think that with Wemby, obviously the sky's the limit, but we'll see what happens. Next up, I want to discuss kind of the Orlando Magic, one of the lesser known teams and one of the more interesting teams, I would say, opinion wise. It's a team that has really bought into defense, and we're not even talking about these older players. We're talking about younger players like Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, Jonathan Isaac, Franz Wagner, and crew who have really put a clinic the last few years, and that has put the team on notice. Obviously their stars, Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, have kind of upped their ability in terms of scoring. But again, that remains one of the big kind of questions. The team really struggles shooting from three. For instance, Franz Wagner shot under 30% from three-point range, and it just seems to be kind of indicative of one of the challenges they have. I think it's really great that the team has really bought into defense, and I think scoring will eventually come. And that's why I think it's a team you really should kind of put your focus on and keep under your radar, for instance. Next up is the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets are going to be kind of, in my opinion, will be one of the fun little drama teams in the NBA, but also one of the potential contenders. Any team that adds KD, even at this day and age, will still remain a competitive and strong team. KD has still, at his age, been able to shoot from anywhere in the field, and he seems to be the remedy that the team needs. The team really struggled in the postseason, finding like their go-to scorer, and that's really kind of repelled their chances of winning. Going farther into the playoffs than they hoped for, especially given that disappointing loss they had in the first round. Now, the big issue remains: will they be able to work as a team? Will the chemistry be there? Obviously, there is the young core that's been developing within the team, Amen Thompson, and Alperen Sengun, and so on. And then you also have the more established core like Kevin Durant, Dillon Brooks. Will they be able to work together? Will it be a team that can kind of build off each other's strengths and weaknesses? Or is it just going to be more of a drama situation? We do see a little bit of drama already coming from KD's discussion of whether he wants a contract extension or not. Whether he wants a contract extension, but if the Houston Rockets want to give it to him. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Minnesota, a fun little team. Obviously, they definitely turned things around at the second half of last year. And it's going to be an interesting situation with like Anthony Edwards, obviously, you know, taking that big step upwards, especially shooting from three. I think at this point he's almost at 40%. I think I saw 39.5% is currently where he's shooting at this point, and almost averaging about 28 points per game. So definitely becoming a solid star, even from a statistical standpoint. Julius Randle has also been an interesting addition to the team. Despite lower scoring numbers, he has shot higher from the field and from three, which is, you know, a nice little promise to the company, to a nice little promising aspect to the team. Now the question is, how is this team gonna progress? And where are they this time in a very crowded Western Conference? Obviously, you have teams that are you'll have your OKCs and your, you know, growing good teams like the San Antonio Spurs that I mentioned. So where do they kind of fit in the picture? And that's kind of the big question I have for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Last but not least, obviously, I want to discuss the Golden State Warriors. They're another team that's very interesting in the sense that they really saw their season turn around when Jimmy Butler joined the team. I think they went 23-8 when he joined the team, and they had like a new injection of life. Steph Curry obviously has still is a very solid player despite having weaker numbers. Still like 39.7% from three is still very enviable as a three-point shooter, and 24.5% even at his age still shows that the Golden State Warriors still have a very solid star on their team. Now, the big question for them is just a matter of fit for the rest of the team. There's been a lot of changes in the lineup. Obviously, questions about Buddy Hield's consistency, whether Pods can kind of, you know, play a big role in the team as one of their point guards. Gary Payton II. You know, obviously there's the discussions of Jonathan Kuminga's contract. So there's a lot of moving parts to the Golden State Warriors. But the fact that they were able to turn around the second part of the year shows that they're still a solid team. So this is kind of a quick little rundown of like 5 teams I thought would be interesting. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Obviously, it's a very raw video. But yeah, again, this is Dwayne on Air Hoops. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it.